Good morning, everybody. Jeff from Rose Bucket Valley Garage. We're working on the generator this morning that you've seen in the previous video. We got the gas tank. It is a universal gas tank. Unfortunately, the gas tank that is supposed to go on here, they don't really manufacture that anymore, and it's about $400 when you can find one. So we paid about 40 for this one right here, and this one right here is steel, okay, where the other one was plastic. Okay, obviously if you put a different part on there, you're going to run into a problem where it may not fit or mount exactly the way that the last one did. This one right here I think is kind of an upgrade because it actually has a fuel gauge on it right here, which is pretty handy. Okay, so in mounting this, it takes a little bit of a different mounting scheme. What we did is we take some angle iron and we ran it through the horizontal bandsaw over the machine shop, and we took and cut it to size, cut it to length. This is about 2 inches here. We figured 2 mounting holes using 1/4-20 hardware would be enough, and we're going to be using 4 of these little brackets. What we did is the full width of the angle iron was too wide to take and do what we wanted to do. In other words, it wouldn't fit on here properly. So what we did is we took this over to the machine shop and we machined this edge here and this edge here to take and get it so it fits there, just very nicely. So all we have to do is take and put a couple of holes in here, okay, to kind of isolate this. Since there were rubber isolators underneath this, we had some rubber stripping with adhesive on it. So from this side all the way to this side, to insulate the bottom of the tank so it wouldn't be steel on steel, we went ahead and we put a piece of rubber down on there, and we also put a piece of rubber on the inside of these so it'll be cushioned. Okay, so the first thing we did is these holes here are pretty close in all 4 of the pieces, but due to human error, which is introduced into everything when you're machining stuff, and it's just kind of a late night and all that, they may be off a few thousandths one way or the other. There's a couple of ways that you can take and negate that. You can make the holes just a little bit bigger and it'll help you out, or you can take and match drill, which means that you take the piece that's going to go in that position right there. So when you match drill something, it means that you take the same drill that you drill these holes with and you run it through here while you hold this in position with a little bit of down pressure, because you want this thing to make and be in position when you take and put the hardware in. Okay, and you make a little dimple right here, and then you can take that and just put it through the first side of the square bar, because the thing is, on the inside of this rail, the fuel tank is right there, so you can't take and put a bolt all the way through. We were thinking of putting bolts down from the top, and it might take and impinge the seal that's right here that's been welded and cause the tank to leak, so we don't want to do that. We really don't want to take and modify this edge at all. Okay, so we took and drilled that all the way through using the drill size that we need for the insert that we're going to be using. This is the insert that we're going to be using. Okay, this is 1/4-20. Okay, the hole is just about the same size. It's within 5 thousandths. So we'll go ahead and we'll tap this in okay, and then I'll show you how we actually install this. This is a nut insert or nutsert Astro makes a tool, number 1442, that works really well on these. Not a sponsor, but they just make handy stuff. Okay, so let me go ahead and tap that in, and then I'll show you how we install that. Okay, so after a couple of taps with the hammer, we go ahead and we put that in. That is a very snug fit. Okay, so, and then we want to check our hardware. This is 1/4 goes in there, threads in very nicely. Okay, so then what you want to do is you want to take the tool and you want to thread that in there, and then this goes, threads in, and then you pull the handles together, and what it will do is it will crush the inside of this insert. Let me show you what one of the inserts looks like. Okay, so this is what one of the inserts looks like, just raw. Okay, you notice there's a serrated band on here that when it's installed in here, it'll keep it from slipping. And then when you pull this together with the tool, what it does is it collapses this back end, because if you can see down in here, the thread is recessed. Okay, so it'll actually take and move the thread a little bit closer. Okay, I'm using like 1-inch bolts on this, and so they'll tighten up and everything, and that'll be really good. So let me go ahead and collapse this, and it won't look any different from the outside. So this insert right here is fully installed. When you take and screw the tool in there, okay, you just screw it in there like that. Okay, then use this wheel here, and then you can feel when this is when the back on this is collapsed all the way, because you get added resistance. Okay, so you know, that's a proper installation. Okay, so we have 7 more of these to do, and we'll go ahead and do that. We'll to make sure you get a good location on these, you match drill all 4 pieces. As I was saying, to make sure you get a good location, take and do one at a time. Take this and tighten it up, okay, and just snug, and then go ahead and drill the other hole, and then take it back apart and go ahead and put your secondary hole in there, and then your insert, and then you're sure to take and line everything up. Okay, so I hope I've given you some good information on how to handle a couple of problems, you know, when you run into stuff. So we're going to go ahead and get our brackets on there, and then we get the fuel hose to put on. We have the rest of the parts, and we'll probably start this up this afternoon and run it for a while. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you next time.